What's up? Man, market's pumping, feeling good. How's everybody doing? Missed you this morning, but we got some great stuff coming in here for the markets here in just a moment. So everybody get involved. We got 7 people in the room. We're going to start seeing people piling in. I want to see some engagement. Are you in position? Have you been buying and trading this? Let's get this going. Let's get some market music vibing. I'm feeling it, guys. I hope you're feeling it too. Cade Pulliam, what's up? Cade Pulliam, what's up? Granny's Garden, JS. I see my daddy-o, Brad Kellam, Justin Eubanks, Crimson Caravan Company. Everybody, I'm loving each and every one of you. I hope you're all feeling good. Brian, what's up? Hey, all. Hey, you. Cade Pulliam, I am having a good day. It has been overwhelmingly busy as it has been for the last month. I feel so torn between trying to provide as much as possible to everybody here on YouTube, but also in the Academy, but also there's so much stuff going on. I'm just running from one content piece to the next, stacking some stuff up to start releasing into BitLab as well. But I wanted to make sure I got out to you today, even though it's a little late, midday. But hey, we all got to be adaptable. Market's pumping right now too, so I'm glad we got to wait. Who's ready for the pump? Hey man, the pump is inbound. The pump is already underway. Will we break 38,427 is the question. Big love to each and every one of you that's here on a daily basis. We got 17 people in the room. I want to see some emojis in the chat. I want to see some members engaging with each other, inviting new people in to this wonderful community. I love you all. We're going to be getting going here in about 2 minutes. So make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. Let me know if you like this time too. I'm trying to figure out an afternoon time that I could periodically do some things here. And also members, we got some stuff coming for you as well. So big love, everybody. Alex Green is doing a little bit of live session in the BitLab Discord later. Alex, when is that session going to be? Let us know. For those of you that are members in the Discord, definitely tune into that. He's got a lot of knowledge in the market, and you know, he's another one of our BitLab staff members sharing just excellent information. It's time. Let's get this going. This market's moving. It's time for roll call. Everybody in the chat, whether you're a BitLab member or not, I want to see the chat flying. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know if you're buying, trading, sitting on the sidelines, or just actively doing your diligence and learning more about this market. Let me know what you're doing in this market right now. Everybody get involved. Let's get this show started. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Did not do a morning stream today, so I wanted to come to you either way here midday on this beautiful Tuesday, November 28th. We got the markets are moving. So if you don't know who I am, hey, how you doing? My name's Kellam. I'm the director of BitLab Academy here. We got the YouTube. We have the BitLab Academy full membership area where we break down everything in the courses. All the content that you need to go from absolute zero to absolute hero to understand how to navigate these markets. And I hope I can invite you to come and be a part of our community, because we have an incredible amount of resources and an absolutely wonderful community. And that involves a lot of you that are here on the stream right now. So shout out to all you. If you are a member or have been a member, drop OG status in the chat right now. We see a lot of BitLab members are on here too, all those with the beakers next to their names. It's going to be coming up soon. You're going to get those that have been a member for over a month here in a couple days. You're going to get your beakers going to fill up a little bit. And the more members we get, the more emojis we can do, and the more benefits we can provide you all, because this is all about driving resources and material for you. But you don't want to hear me talk. I want to see you all right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's dive in to see what the heck is going on right now. So I want to see each and every one of you BitLab members with those beakers next to your name. Drop your favorite emoji. Are you feeling like the chicken? Are you feeling bullish? Are you feeling like it's a buy now? Is it a sell? Is it a bull trap brewing? Let's go ahead and dive into these markets. What's going on right here? Man, we're seeing it. I didn't even notice this because I was so locked in doing content all morning. I just pulled up the chart getting ready for this, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, mother. You know what I was about to say. So here we go. Has anything changed yet? Always ask yourself this. When you see a candle like this, or in this case, candles, has anything changed yet? Well, ask yourself, what's the previous high of the range? Well, we have this right here, but is this a high of a range? No, this is a breakdown consolidation. This is a high of the previous range. This comes in just about, we could put our mouse directly over this. I just want to remind you guys, when you put your mouse directly over a candle, you can see up here, your chart should say OHLC and have numbers next to it. It looks arbitrary until you know what it is. O is open, H is high, L is low, C is closed. So you're seeing all the different price action that each one of these candles is providing you. Everybody thinks candles are just pretty on a chart. No, each and every candle is a component of driving your ability to analyze the narrative of this market. So when I look at this candle and I put my mouse over it, I can look up here, I see open. Where did it open at? The open would be the bottom of a bullish candle. In my case, they're white. On your charts, it might be green. But bullish candles open on the bottom and end at the top. That's what makes them bullish. They're moving up in price. So open low and close high. Bearish candles open at the top and close lower. So the open of this will be the O. That's the low. That's where this candle opened. The low of the body, I should say. The H is the high, the highest point, even including wicks. Where did it go to? The high here is 38,437 on this candle. Now, the actual close is where the candle body closed, this thicker area. The candle body closed at 38,252. So we could take both these areas into consideration. In fact, this current candle has already tapped into that region. If we see this right here, if I do option J, go across, that's drawing from the close of this candle body. And we can see right here, this wick, it did tap up into this area. So we're going to want to watch here. Is this just getting some bullish sentiment, frothing over at the mouth, getting people trapped only to reverse back down, or not? Well, let's zoom out for a moment. Now we're going to break it down from a more macro perspective all the way down to the more smaller time frame and micro perspective, so we can understand the context of what the hell is going on with this price action, because it is exciting. I'm not saying it's not exciting. In fact, if we come down to even smaller time frames, look at the 1 hour. I mean, this, oh my God, we're lifting off. It's going only up for here. And it very well could, and I would be thrilled if that were the case. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this. And before we do that, I'm coming back over because I see people are piling into the room as I spit everywhere while I talk. I see we got less than half of you have hit that like button, and I want to see each and every one of you hit that like button right now. Get involved with helping crypto move forward by letting these mainstream media outlets like YouTube, it's a mainstream media outlet now, everybody uses it. Let them know you like this crypto content. It's the easiest way you can help this channel, but also help crypto. Now, coming back over to these charts, we're going to look at this. This is one of the most important considerations here before we jump into the macro is this right here. What is this? This is volume. These bars across the bottom here, this is the volume. How much Bitcoin was traded on each candle. On this respective candle directly above it, a lot more Bitcoin was traded than the one before that, and so on and so forth. And see how this is trending up. This could speak to commitment to the move. Question's going to be, we are coming right into territory with a high region right here, the candle body close and the wick high of this previous range that we just outlined right here. So what is going to happen here? Effectively, we're looking at a gateway to the next leg up. If we get rejected here, maybe we find support here, which wouldn't be terrible because all this range that consolidated kind of comes in line with this region right here. So if this does get rejected and we see this hold here, then we're seeing rise, retrace, continuation, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. So let's go ahead and go a little bit backwards, and then we're gonna go forward. I see we got so many people in here. We got some names I have never seen here before as well. If you have been here, my apologies, but big love to each and every one of you. We got 79 people, 70 people in the room, only 35 likes. Everybody, look down below. Hit that subscribe button. Join us in our community. This is all about breaking this market down in a non-biased way. So what do we see here first? Well, we have the price action coming down. We have a W formation right here, double bottom, boom, boom. And then we have a larger time frame, slightly larger, not by much, another W formation right here. And then what else do we have? Look at this, another W formation right here. We have three sort of integrated W formations suggesting time and time again on smaller time frames and somewhat more medium time frames that this price action is trying to reverse. So the key here is that we see these lows right in here. Option T, if you're on PC, it's Alt T, gives you a trend line. We can see this is a region we want to look for. Why? Because this is where this was bouncing. We can actually even draw this further out. Bounce, bounce. Now look at this rejection right here. Look at this little pause and then the breakout. And how do you trade this breakout? Well, we say, well, we know that there's a neckline right here of this W formation, which has 3 W's within it. 1, 2, and 3, all 3 of these indicating bullish initiatives starting to brew up. So when we push up to this region, have a little bit of a pause. The breakout of this, a lot of people jump in and just trade that breakout. You trade the moment the wick goes above it. But in this case, see right here, this happened, this trapped you, came right back down, which is going to be okay if you have stop losses in place. But I would highly recommend, and this is strategy advice, not financial advice, that on these breakouts, you want to watch for wherever the next sort of rise, retrace, continuation is. So if this is rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation. In this case, this is the most important area because this is the neckline, the boundary at which we're watching to see if the narrative is taken back over by the bulls. So in this case, we do see the price action does come up, tries to retest this region. So coming up and breaking this level would have been the safest trade on this. The most aggressive would be coming up into this zone right here and trying to trade that as it breaks out. But there's a lot of chop in that area and you very well could get wicked out, especially if you're using something like high leverage. But what we're seeing is an agreement with the move at the moment because we're seeing a lot of volume come in. The question is going to be, what happens in this region? Now, I want to, again, as I said 3 times now, I want to back out a little bit and I want to talk about some things here in the charts. First things first, Bitcoin dominance, very important. We see it came down to this 51%, 51.85, 51.9, basically 52% region and upper 51s. Price action or the dominance, I won't call it price action because this is the dominance percentage of Bitcoin to the rest of the entire crypto market. Dominance went up, it retraced. This was that little mini alt, all those huge alt pumps that we were getting. Felt like a little mini alt season. It's because it was a little baby alt season. We had price action pushing up and we had to have a little bit of rotation of capital into other things. Some people take some profits and starts moving into other things. In addition to risk narrative coming back into the crypto market. And so then those smaller projects start seeing some liquidity injections as well, not just capital rotation out of Bitcoin, but this is starting to move up again. But we're seeing also the stochastics to come down and suggested that there may be a bigger move. What is this telling us? Why am I telling you all this? Why does this chart matter if all we want to do is trade and make money? Because isn't it important to make sure that if you're going to be trading assets in this market, that you try to take advantage of the safest play that gives you the most risk advantage? What does that mean? There's these altcoins, when they move down like you lose your butt on them. But when they move up, I mean, there's people that have been instant millionaires on some of these different altcoins, but it's a little bit of game like Russian roulette. Now you could argue that it's a little bit less the further up the market cap you go. If you're in the Ethereums and the AVAX and the Cardano and Near and et cetera, XRP and Quant, but these are all so tied to whatever the narrative is. These are also tied to whatever the narrative that comes out of Gary Gensler's mouth. And, we saw yesterday or the day before, Charles Hoskinson absolutely lit into the U.S. regulators. And I don't think he was wrong in any regard. There needs to be a clear path. And the reason why that matters when we're looking at today, we're looking at the price action today, trying to figure out what to trade, when, where, how, why. And we need to ask ourselves, what can I put my money into that's going to move? It has a balance between having very good volatility, right? But also has the lowest risk. You want to find that metric. And also it's going to depend on what part of your portfolio you have allocated to trade that said asset or asset class, whether you're trading the gaming sector or trading a specific coin in general, how you're dividing these things up and how much you're exposing your portfolio or that part of your portfolio to risk while still having a longer term that you're not touching and that you are rotating profits out of into that long-term portfolio. So when we look at this chart, what does that mean? This chart is suggesting that maybe Bitcoin is going to be eating up some dominance here, which would suggest that some of the altcoin market may suffer a little bit for the time being. As it stands right now, we're looking like this is a total 3 right here, which is all the altcoins, everything minus, basically the market minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. If we see we got a little bit of a trend line right in here, actually it's a little ugly, but we got a deviation here, but we have 3, boom, boom, boom. Now the question is going to be right in this region, what's going to happen? Because the dominance may just end up sitting still. My whole point with this is it's a reminder to each and every one of you, look at the allocations in your portfolio and make sure you are taking advantage of some of the healthy movement in the market and also having some longer term plays that you're not just chopping yourself in and out. Now, it's looking like the market is really setting up for some wonderful things. This is a different look to one of those liquidity signals I was showing you with the global liquidity. Well, this is just the liquidity here, the Chinese 10-year, the Dixie, the BAM, a bunch of stuff. So what we're seeing is each time this bottoms, this is the bottom, liquidity bottom in each of these cycles. What does this correspond to? Look at what it's corresponding to. Essentially the end of a bearish trend, a little bit of rise, and then the yellow mark here crossing this moving average, a slowing moving K-June Sen line here. We're seeing that on this second mark, once we have the rise, a little bit of retrace and a little bit of consolidation, and then continuation. Same thing, rise, a little bit of retrace, consolidation, continuation. We had a big rise, we had a retrace into this, a little bit of a rise and consolidation, but then continuation. Are we going to see the same thing? It looks like we're coming into that zone. You know, we're looking right here. Here's another, Caleb posted this a day or two ago. I wanted to share this with you guys yesterday. I've just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And this is very interesting. Amazingly, the 1 year Williams %R oscillator is perfectly mimicking the 5-step process from the 2020-2021 cycle. And I agree with this. And look at this. Okay, 1, start below lower bound, right in here. This is the oscillator here. This is a price action. Look at the interaction of what, let me take my face off here. There we go. We can see this oscillator comes, basically bottoms here, has a rise, retrace, and continuation into a consolidation. So what we see right here with the price action, what happened? We had a rise, we had a little bit of a consolidation here, chop zone, and then continuation here. But this was setting up to show a lot of strength in the market and sustained strength in the market. So what do we see here? We have this low. This is shaped a little differently, but in terms of the way this pattern goes, we have a rise, retrace, continuation, and it's looking a lot like this area right here. Will we have sustained bullishness and sustained strength to carry us through? Well, what could answer that? Well, looking at this chart right here, this is the GBTC discount, the premium. As Gary Cardone calls it, the canary in the coal mine. We're basically seeing this might look like arbitrary lines, and it really doesn't matter what this shows. It matters what conceptually this means about the market. This is a 0%. This is negative. This is positive. Okay, what is it really measuring? It's measuring the exposure of GBTC, the negative or positive premium, meaning if you bought at the last year's market cycle high, like right up in here, you see this? This blue line is showing that there was over a 30%, almost 40% premium, meaning you're getting 40% less direct exposure to Bitcoin per your purchase of GBTC than you would had you bought it when it was zero like this. It's essentially one for one, the allotted exposure from that GBTC trust purchase that you'd make. Now here in the bear market, we see a negative premium. See the 0%? Here's the Bitcoin price action. This is this is the FTX collapse right here. And we see that this premium comes down and it got below minus 47, got all the way to about minus 48%, meaning for those retail and institutional people that are interested in Bitcoin but don't want to be involved fully in the crypto space, maybe they want to buy it directly in the traditional finance world. This has been an analog way to kind of be like an ETF over the last few years, allowing retail and institutions to participate in Bitcoin through the stock market. Now with this is showing that there was a minus 49% negative premium, meaning you could get almost double, a little less than almost double what you're paying for. But what this really is, it's a metric of interest within the space, especially in the retail side of things, that's aware of crypto and they want exposure. So really it's an interest metric. Is this premium negative or positive? In this case, it has been negative. It is coming back towards zero, showing the people that are on the peripherals of crypto the interest is coming back. So this is something that we're going to want to watch. Now, next thing I want to show is we are seeing, and I talked about this, we are seeing capital spending. We are seeing people, and I talked about this, this is the Black Friday's hitting online, reaching a record of $9.8 billion. And I said, is this a sign of non-care for risk spending? Because we've talked about all the other stuff, and I don't need to hatch it over again, the $1 trillion plus and the credit card debt that's out there, the record defaults coming in, record low levels of, approaching record low, financial crisis levels of lack of savings in accounts. So where's the money coming from? Well, people are still spending it. We're setting records with online shopping. Are we going to see a super bullish holiday season is what I'm going to say. Updates. So here we go. This is something I really think everybody should be paying attention to. This may be speaking to the interest coming into the market. For the first time in 1.5 years, the 90-day change in stablecoin supplies is just flip positive. This means that we are finally seeing net capital inflows through stablecoins for the first time since the bear market began. What does this mean? There's new stablecoins being minted, being supplied. There's an increase in liquidity being made available so that crypto can be transacted. Pretty big deal. Update 2 weeks later, stablecoin supplies are up another 2.2 billion since now up to 2.8 over the last 90 days. On-chain liquidity continues to improve. Could this be people getting prepared to really dive into the market, or are people already diving into the market? This is a bunch of colors, I know, but let's break this down. I don't think I really got to go over this with you guys the other day. This is important. This area right here is showing all the different wallet addresses from over 10,000 all the way down to less than 1 Bitcoin. All different wallets that throughout November were accumulating. And I think I did mention this to you all, but I just have to remind you, if everybody's accumulating, max pain may be to the downside. Now, the downside does not mean that this pump is over. It means that flushing out the over-exuberant open interest and the leverage and taking advantage of too much greed. That's what this is, if it were to happen. But we are seeing the foundation being set for incredible bullish trends. So let's go ahead and look at this market and talk about what's going on. All right, and I want to see everybody in here. Who we got in here? We got 113 people in the room, 48 likes. Every single one of you needs to hit that like button right now. The teacher requests it, and it's time to roll call again. We got a lot of new people in the room. We're doing a different time than we normally do. By the way, we will be back live tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to dive in. I want to see the members. Those of you paying members out there, let me know a couple coins you want to do some TA on, and we will do some TA on those coins. I'm going to show Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then I'll take over from y'all's input. I wanted to pull up something here. Where is it at? Where is it at? Come on. I believe in you, computer. I believe in you. Here we go. This is what I wanted to pull up. Now, I just wanted to remind every single one of you, thank you for putting up with me had to switch some stuff here on the deal. Boom, there we go. Now, there we go. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. Make sure, do I see any coins from you guys? You guys don't send no coins? Fine. I'm going to do some coins for you anyway. We want to make sure you follow us over at Academy BitLab right here. And by the way, we got a huge giveaway going on right now, as well as not only a giveaway, but huge discounts. If you come to this tweet right here, retweet this tweet at the end of this week, I am going to be drawing retweet to win 3 chances. So drawing 3 people, three lifetime access to the BitLab Academy, as well as the indicators right there. Retweet to win. I'll be drawing randomly from those that retweet and hit that like button. So get involved. Only 21 people have done it so far, but this also is basically the holiday discount information. By the way, you can sign up 3 for $50 right here. That is 3 months for 50% off. Now let's go ahead and look at these charts. And by the way, that's all over at bitlabacademy.com. So let's do it. All right. Here it goes. I got too many things open on the screen. All right. So here's the charts. Was anything indicating something was going to happen? Well, we see that let's go ahead and turn on the volume and boom. Let's get over to the 8-hour. I like the 8-hour, getting kind of an intermediary sort of look of what's going on. Oops. All right. Look at all these order blocks that we have above us. BitLab volume showing these order blocks from high liquidity interest areas. This is coming all the way from right here. This is the gateway higher. This is the gateway. Let me say it again. This is the gateway higher. This $38,000 to $40,000 level. And not only is it the liquidity interest we're seeing all the way back here. This was, move this out of the way because it's always in the way. May 2022. This area has been established as a high liquidity interest area. And look at this. We're getting rejected. We're trying to tap back up into this. And look at this. We also have this diagonal trend line of resistance right here. It's this line right here, all the way from back here, boom, 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 and then support, and then resistance. We come up here. We have not yet tapped it on this run yet. Do you think we are going to tap it? Well, as it stands right now, we're seeing this price action move to the upside, and we're seeing a little bit of decrease in the momentum here. But this very well could just be consolidating a bit here and rounding back out to the upside. I gotta sneeze. Got it. All right. Gesundheit. So we're seeing this sustain here and hold above the 0 line, which is relatively bullish. And we're seeing on the 8-hour, look at all this green right here. What is all this green? This is, if the signal is predominantly bullish, neutral, or bearish. And this green, see how this just flipped a little bearish on the wave 2, wave 1 and wave 2. These are the money flow and the momentum waves. And we can see that the stochastics are trying to make their move to the upside. Now, the question is going to be, what is happening in this region. So let's get down to the 4 hour. Let's see what the story is. 4 hour. Okay, this is pushed up relatively high, and we have not yet met this region here. We're going to want to see what happens. We're going to want to see what happens in this region. We're getting a high volume candle here, but we're coming into the new order block that we printed right here. How do I know it's a new order block? You see how this area is darker? There's 2 order blocks here. So another order block was printed right here. This is going to be, again, if we take out this high right here, 38,427, I do believe that this is going to move relatively quickly up here into this level right up in here, 39.6, 39.5, 39.6. But this area, this level right here, if we break out this level, then it's going to likely be a fairly quick move up to 42 and then 48, which I ultimately think we could push beyond this, but I think it would be very quick and not sustained. This is a golden pocket of the macro move. So we have to be aware of that. So looking at this as it is right now, we see each time we get these high volume candles, these teal candles here on the BitLab Intelligence. By the way, again, you can use that code 3 for 50. That gives you 3 months, 50% off. Get that BitLab Pro, you get everything, and you get it for all of it at a huge discount for 3 months. But we're seeing this, keeps reversing when we're getting these high volume candles. No follow through. So what's going to happen here? Well, we're actually seeing a bit of volume here, but this volume compared to this move here, see how much more volume was in this? So although comparatively with this region, the volume is ticking up, it's not really doing anything. It's not even doing it as well as it has in the previous run-ups. You see, I'm just running my mouse across here and you see these pretty large spikes. Now, if we get another candle here and we get a lot of volume that sustains and pushes us through, then that will be very good. Now, what does it look like on the 1 hour? 1 hour. So 1 hour, we're starting to roll over a bit, which is okay because we're in an area that we know is highly contested. Remember this level, this line right here is the candle body closures. And this line right here was the high point of the wick. So this is that area, that zone we're watching, and there's an order block here. So I'm watching for a breakout of this level. And if not, then likely testing back down into 37,930. If we lose, actually, let me go a little bit lower. I would say 37,870 to 37,950. This region right in here. If we lose this, then I think we're testing back down into potentially down here into the low 37s. But again, this is also a loss of exuberance. If we drop down, we get rejected here and drop down, then we really want to watch this 36.7 level, this rising level of support. If we lose that, we're likely coming down to the mid 35s. What is Ethereum looking like? Let me go ahead and look at the chart. Look at the chat from everybody. I see all you members in here. I see the emojis. I see it. All right, so we got Caspa. You want to see Caspa, you want to see XRP, you want to see IMX. Shout out Red Elephant JS. Red Elephant also said Doge. Quarter Crawler, what's up? Kate Pulliam. All right, let's go. Let's do it. We're doing turbos. Turbos. All right, let's go. Let's do Caspa. All right. We're doing this one raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, man, look at this bull flag. If that's not a bull flag, I don't know what. I mean, that is just a bull pennant out the wazoo. So let's go ahead and go to the 3-day. There's not going to be anything to the left, but always check. Always check on a chart when you're pulling it up if you haven't done TA on it before, or if you're just not up to date on what's going on. So, man, look at this move. Boom, boom, boom. I was pointing to you guys where it was going. Now let's go ahead and delete that. Okay. Now zoom out on this sucker and we see, but now look at this. I want you to notice something. Look at this. Great, perfect bull flag right there. I'm going to go option V. I just want to point something out to you guys. You have to be aware of this. You can't just see a pattern and say it has to break out the direction that the pattern says is going to. That's how you get wrecked. You see here, we had this push up and this kind of, on the 3-day, it looked like a bull flag. Here, it looks more like a kind of not so head and shoulders, but similar formation. Rise, higher rise, smaller rise. and then a little fake out to the upside, and then it loses it. So just pay attention to, especially markets that are this small compared to like Bitcoin or other traditional equities. This very well could fake out to the upside, come down, fake out to the downside, and then pick its direction. So don't get lost in the chop. So HBAR, Crypto Breezy, shout out. I'll do some HBAR as well. So here, what we want to look at, I got the sneezes. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this really quick. So we have a bit of a pattern right here. So we see it's consolidating into this pennant. Okay, we also had this already break out and come up here, but let's look at this move from here up. Stochastics were relatively low, which is the orange line that I'm looking at down here. Let me go make sure you can see what I see. Do you see what I see? You guys tired of the Christmas music yet in the stores? Some people love it. I think after about when it's like the day before Thanksgiving and they're already playing it, I'm like, for real? Play it again. No. So we're seeing stochastics came down, gave it a lot of room to load. We have positive money flow, this blue wave down here on the BitLab Trend Fuel. This positive money flow, and this reset, and then this W formation gave us our launch. That was a beautiful position. Now, in this case, we're seeing another setup here, but I want you to notice strong impulse to the upside, but a lot more chop in this pennant. Is there a weakening bullish narrative? There's no way to really know it, but the chart is suggesting that it's taking a lot more work to consolidate to continue higher. And as these assets grow and their market caps grow, it needs for more monetary energy to carry it higher. Needs more people involved, needs more liquidity injected in the asset in order to continue at the same rate of speed or even continue in the same direction. So in this case, what we're seeing, if we double click on this, what do we see here? I want you to notice something. This blue wave, it's kind of arcing, isn't it? I just traced it. If you can't see that, that's what it looked like. Now, the question is going to be on this money flow, is this going to continue down like this, or are we starting to see a little bit, of it kind of, if it holds in this region and then moves back up, great. But as it stands right now, this does give me a little bit of concern, but the fact that we have let me do another color here so you can see this. The fact that we have option T, the fact that we have a little bit of a trend line here with the stochastics finding support. See this? Bounce, bounce, bounce. If this can continue from here, that would be great. But the problem I'm seeing, and I don't know why, I think I changed it on this one. Let me go ahead and make this a little brighter. So you can see this a little better. There's a bit of a descending level right here on the RSI, finding resistance here. If this rejects down, this stochastics may as well be signaling that we may have a little bit of a pullback here. But as it stands right now, we still have a bull pennant that this is starting to look like a symmetrical triangle because, why? Because the width of this area right here is already getting to the point where it's almost the same width as this is tall. So think of it like a flag. If you all of a sudden get this huge flag, the flag is going to fall over. So it's not really necessarily a bull pennant any longer, although the shape. So we can look at this more like a symmetrical triangle. So therefore, which direction is this going to go? Let's go ahead and measure the width there. Boom. These are the two sort of zones you can look at for the continuation if it's going to occur. Now, I do think, because we have so much bullishness coming into this market, so much hope, the flip kind of coming out of disbelief. We're going into the halving coming just around the corner, a presidential election cycle year, and we have so many Bitcoin spot ETFs that a lot of people, including Mark Yusko, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital, think that it's basically a guarantee that we're going to get it. And we cannot work in guarantees in this market, but what we can do is we can read the data, the on-chain data that we've talked about, the markets, the liquidity that's coming in that we're seeing not only in an independent country, but global liquidity is ticking up. That means risk narrative, the appreciation, the ability to put capital and see capital flow into these markets is rising right in the best time in the market cycle for it to do it. The Bitcoin halving is in April. Everything you do this year, 2023, is really in preparation to take advantage of the price action after the halving. So even if this does pull back, I like Caspa. I think they've been building really great project. And look at this. The width of this, the retest of here is basically the high right here. So this is an area that you want to look at. If this does come down in this region, potential area that you can look for an entry, or if you were shorting this, an exit of your short. So I think Caspa all in all is looking great. Look at this. And it's just been up, down, up, down. So it's rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation. This is getting a little weaker here though, you see? But then we have another impulse and we're getting a little bit of this substantive consolidation that's happening at this point. So I would be a little careful here. Watch for opportunities lower. But if you want to trade the breakout, trade it smart, trade it with strategy. You know, we're getting somewhat, I won't say near the apex. I think this is, I like that. Yeah. Crazy how these things line up like this. So I'd be watching for a breakout here. It's leaning bullish, but I would watch again. I would watch for market to really chop people out in both directions. That's all I'm saying. HBAR, somebody said, I think I forget the name. And quant, I see. C90, what's up? Any price prediction? Yeah, it was crypto breezy. So let's do H Barbarian. This is already looking bearish right here. This is not looking super bullish. As soon as I open it, you can see it. A couple things. One, this is rounding. Two, this is a head and shoulders. Okay. You see the shoulder, you see the larger head, you see a smaller shoulder. And now we draw the neckline, which would be essentially kind of like that. And if we measured this, option T from the top here to the neckline, and then measure that down, where does that go? This goes regionally. Look at that. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Look at this. Goes right down into this contested area, all these highs and all this support right in here. And look at where the target from this head and shoulders comes right down into this exact zone. So this tells me that this is a likely area because it has confluence. It's not just an arbitrary area that doesn't show any previous support and resistance. It shows that it had plenty of support and resistance, and this is the area that it's coming down into. Now, what do we also see? A flip from having a lot of positive bullish momentum, which are all these white bars on the top side of this wave. If I make this larger right here, see all this on this is the zero line right here. You can see right here on the right side of the chart will tell you what percentage level you're looking at. You can just see as you move your mouse. So this is the zero line. This is positive. This is negative. The momentum waves are all these. Remember, these green bars are showing that there's a lot of buying pressure under this momentum as well. When you get red, like you see red right here, you also see red right here. In this case, this is negative momentum, price action momentum down to the downside. And the red is a lot of selling pressure. Now you can get both red and green on both sides of these, but it's showing you, is there a lot of buying pressure, a lot of selling pressure? Now in this case, the narrative has been relatively bullish. We also have positive money flow here. Okay. Now, if we come over to where we're at now, not only do we have a descending level of highs on the momentum waves, you see this boom, boom, boom. This was telegraphing weakness is coming in. So let's look. Option V. This is just so we can see on the chart what parts of the price action this is relevant to. Now look at this. Momentum waves coming down as the price action moving up. That was telegraphing weakness. So let's go ahead now and look at the BitLab volume. So the point of control, which is where the most volume at what price level the most volume has changed hands on the view you're looking at. It's right about in this region right here. We can see this represented by this wave right here, the larger wave. Now we've established two different order blocks directly above us, and we're getting lower highs here. The only thing we have going for us on this is, well, there's two things. The narrative of the markets is just getting more and more bullish over the next couple months. So anything that's dropping on a project that I believe in, like HBAR or NEAR or Avalanche or Cardano or the Graph or Quant or Cosmos. There's so many different, AGIX. There's so many different things out there. Quarter Crawler says, bro, there's so many great projects out there, and you can't throw it all in eggs in one basket just because you like something. But if you believe in the project, if you've done some diligence, then my disposition right now is dips. Now we're in a buy the dip opportunity to be set to stack into being prepared for this next bull market that's coming around the corner. Yes. Are we kind of in one right now? Yes. But the pre-halving, you've got to be a little bit of risk conscious in terms of what you're doing, because there's no telling what could happen. Last cycle, we had the global the whole world shut down. Markets, ate absolute doo-doo butter biscuits. But it proved to be an excellent opportunity. So this is why it's good to have some capital on the sidelines. If we do get that dip, and if we get a dip and you end up stacking into something and then there's a bigger dip, you don't beat yourself up. You just find ways to drive and deliver more capital so you can be prepared for those opportunities. So HBAR, 6 hour, this is looking relatively weak, but we are bouncing here. So maybe this narrative of this being a head and shoulders, maybe it gets invalidated. If this price action pushes up and takes out 6389, I think that this is going to start looking more like another shape here. Now, if we look at this on the 3-day, even on the 3-day, this was showing, this was rolling over. The momentum was rolling over. This tapped into this previous order block right here. So tapped into it, and the momentum wave and the stochastics rolled over. Now, what are we looking like? A little bit smaller time frame. Looking very bullish setups on the signals. It doesn't mean fully just buy. Just means there's some bullish things brewing, and that makes sense because we just had this strong bounce. But on HBAR, if we can't even clear this range here, then I'm looking at this not being invalidated and continuing on. If we are able to push up, then it's a different story. But things are looking like they're not looking incredibly strong right now. The one thing I will say is we did have some bullish divergence right here on the lows here. See how they're lower, but then the lows on this momentum wave, you see how they are higher here. See, lower lows, higher lows. This is showing some bullishness brewing into this region, which gave it a little bit of a launch. We can also see that probably, you can also see it right here on the stochastics pretty significantly, just the orange line I'm looking at. So that was, giving us that sort of initiative spring that maybe a bounce was coming in here because the underlying strength was building. If you're getting stronger signals and price action is getting weaker, that's signaling that there's something brewing, that like a slingshot is being pulled and a move may be coming in a reversal. So if you're having downward price action, but you're having stronger strength ticking up, and all these signals we're looking at on stochastics, whether you're looking at MACD or momentum or money flow, these give you signal that something may be brewing. In this case, look at that. The BitLab intelligence, part of the BitLab trading stack. Look at that. The bullish setup, bullish signal was right there, right on that drop. Not only did we get the right on that drop, we also got the other basically setup. We have the setup, support, and confirmation. So the setup was the bullish divergences that we saw coming into this. Then we have the next signal, support, a bullish signal here. This isn't just bullish signal because it tapped an area. There's certain things that we programmed into it that have to be met in terms of price action, candle structures, doing certain things in regards to that signal a higher likelihood of a reversal in place. And so not only that, then we have the confirmation here where we have high volume selling right here on HBAR into this zone, but then we get the yellow stopping volume right there. So we have all the things we want to see coming in to potentially take that reversal trade. Now we have 4 more bullish divergences coming in right here. RSI, demand index, momentum bull, on balance volume. I'm telling you guys, get involved. Head over to bitlabacademy.com. Enroll, use that code that I just shared with all of you guys. I don't know where it is. Somewhere here. I don't know where it is. Too many different charts. There it is. This code right here and the link. I think copy link. Yeah. There. There you go. I just shared it in there. We're coming back over to the charts. You guys got to learn how to navigate these markets, man. It's all watching these shows with us that I'm doing here on the YouTube, but also going through the courses and actually having specific things broken down, the fundamentals, psychology, mindset, right? On-chain data analysis, how different candles signify different things, different candle patterns. Indicators, trading strategies. Get involved with BitLab Academy while that coupon code lasts. I mean it. Now we're seeing this right here. This makes sense. Option T, come across. Now we have two kind of schools of thought here that we could look at. Price action is pushed above the trend signal line right here on the BitLab intelligence. We do have a little bit of a shoulder here. Could this be ahead? Could another dip right here if we don't come all the way back down, if we essentially, you can forecast things, you know, and that way if it plays out, you're already in charge of the strategy that you know you want to use. Maybe this reverses here and this doesn't have to hurt your feelings because you said maybe an inverse head and shoulders is forming. And in which case, if that happens, you're already prepared when you get over here versus looking at this now, forgetting to look at it for a week and then saying, you know, perfect setup. You're like, oh, I could have taken it. Well, you got to be paying attention to the charts if you're going to be actively trading. If you're just trying to find positions for the longer run, then identify the area and put in your stop limit order and let it be hit. All right. Now, if this doesn't happen, if this rejects and comes down, then we got a bit of a broadening wedge here. But we have these levels down here. I'll be watching the 5.9 cent area. If we lose that, then likely lower. But this is, I would lean more bullish than bearish because if we look at this on the macro, it actually, yeah. I want it to go higher, but the signals are looking relatively weak. If this does come down, I'll be, yeah, again, 5.9 cents. If we lose that, then I think we're coming down in the 5.6s. That's my thoughts on HBAR. I had to scroll back at some of the coins you guys asked for. Doge, you know what? I don't almost ever do Doge, and I feel so bad because it is up there in terms of legacy products. It's been in the market for a long time. Doge, like dog, no, not dog. Doge. Let's look at Coinbase. All right, got some levels. Must have drawn this out a while ago. This is kind of looking similar to HBAR, and that pushed up is kind of rolling over. And this makes sense because remember when we came back over here to the BitLab, it's not BitLab, to the Bitcoin dominance, this was coming up. So it makes sense when we're looking at these medium-sized market cap coins that they look like they're struggling just, where's it at? Struggling just a little bit, meaning they're having like bullish move, retrace, continuation, but it's feeling a little iffy right now. Feeling a little iffy in this region, but this is, look at this, pull down, push up, pull down. If we can take this level out, I think we may be pushing back up into the 8.6. Yeah, 8.6, 8.7. And then, you know, up into the low 90s, 9, I should say, 9 cents. We have a lot of work to do in this region, this 9 cent to 9 to 9.5 cents. So we're going to want to watch what happens in this region because there's a lot of things on the horizon. I think, will Elon Musk give people a little bit of an incentive? When is the Elon? You guys know, everybody watching right now, 98 people in the room. Luna Classic. No, I'm not gonna show that. You guys know when the Elon 1 moon, you know, the spaceship that's going out? Because I think that will probably drive some engagement around Doge. So yeah, let's get on the 2 hour. It's, You know, it's kind of looking like a little bit like a diamond pattern. A little bit like a diamond pattern. Why? Because we have a broadening area and then a constricting area here, which these can be potential reversal patterns or continuation patterns. Essentially, all it is showing you it's a pattern of expansion and then consolidation, and whichever direction this breaks will likely be the direction that it continues with a little bit of follow through. That's a very ugly diamond I drew, just because I don't have my correct mouse with me here today. But yeah, we do have 4 bullish divergences right here. Come on, computer. 4 bullish divergences right there. Hidden bull, money flow bull, demand index bull, on balance volume bull, and then 3 more right here. Demand index, checking money flow, and momentum. So, and this makes sense because this tried to launch and it got kind of suppressed by the trend signal line right here. And then it did break through it. So this is looking like it does want to attempt higher. We see the stochastics angled up, but the momentum's kind of flat here. So it's a little bit, yeah. I would lean in the direction of this, probably trying to make a move, even though we had this consolidation sort of right here. The 8-hour has the stochastics kind of reset. There's not any real clear signal right in here, but I'd be watching for a break above the 815 cent mark. That's what I'd be looking at. Now, somebody said XRP, and I think I have that chart right here. Let's look at Chainlink first. Ooh, Chainlink. Let's get out to the daily. How many Link Marines out there? How many of you out there are Link holders? Let's go ahead and delete this because this is going to be a little bit less relevant right now. This looks a little bit more like, let's turn off everything and just look at price action. Let the price action tell the story and then add the other indicators. A little bit of a falling channel there, bull flag, kind of looks like a dinosaur. Like they got little arms right here. No, we need a tail. Yeah. There we go. A little. A little T-Rex. It's our little T-Rex guy right here. Chainlink T-Rex. All right. So look at this. We got the little face here. He's got a little nostril sticking out of the water, trying to see, is there water up here? Is there just air? Is there something I can allow myself to move further higher? As it stands right now, looking at the daily, the stochastics did reset and come up. But the concern here is that we're seeing, if we go right here, this is kind of hovering around on the daily. It's kind of hovering around this 50% mark, right? So if this kind of pushed down, kind of a little bit of liquidity wash out to the downside, and then a retrace up, and then find support here. If we can hold this area, then this is saying the bulls want to stay in charge, especially if the RSI on the daily or higher is holding above the 50 mark. Generally up here, we're bullish. Generally down here, we're bearish. So if we come down here, let's say the 4-hour, look at that, came much lower and is back above 50 as well. Now, this is obviously slightly off. It doesn't have to be exact perfect. There we go. It's right on the 50. So what are we seeing now? 4-hour, kind of fully reset. Stochastics angled up, RSI angled up. Momentum, what is it? Momentum is rounding. See this right here? This is indicating that Chainlink's trying to make moves, make them money moves. Now, is this a breakout, a retest, and then continuation? Is that what we've been trying to look for here? If that's the case, then Chainlink may be in for a move, and a move, you know, basically it may be improv. I love my little, I am a T-Rex. I am a T. Yeah. So let's see. So level, boom, option J. We're going to do, yeah, see this right here? Bounce, rejection. This tells me that this is a great level to be watching. So when we take that level, what do we want to do? Well, first off, let's kind of zoom out just a little bit. We're going to have to go here in a second because I want I don't want to step on the, we got to head over to blockchain basement. Option F. Yeah. This is the area that I'd be looking at. Yeah, see the 382. So if we take out this level, if we do push higher, if Chainlink pushes higher from here, which it's looking like it's trying to, but let's get back over the 4 hour. Yeah, 16 option J, 1660 basically, taking this region out right here, this previous high, taking this out of this range, I should say, taking this out. The next level we're looking at is 1762. Pit stop, attempt at 2161. And the golden pocket is going to be an area that's going to be very interesting, that $25 mark. And just remember, not too long ago, when everybody's like, Chainlink never moves. Oh my God, Chainlink's so frustrating. Well, it's because you're not patient. And the market doesn't give a damn about how patient or impatient you are. In fact, the market is designed and it is set up in a way that it will absolutely move money from the impatient to the patient. So if you're feeling impatient, it's a sign that you need to take a little bit longer look, go onto a chart, zoom out a little bit, look at what's going on. And this is just consolidation setting up for new highs. So all the way back here when it was $5, not that long ago, June. Now, is that really that long of a time to be patient? From June all the way till this point, a 249% increase. Guys, when you have a project with an incredible utility that is one of the most widely used protocols out there and partner with everybody, this is not scary. In fact, this is telling you the work's getting done, partnerships are being made. When this coin, this protocol will be around. So this should allow you to realize this is just more time to stack. All it is. Now, before we go, we got to do, there was something else. I said I was going to do XRP and then I'll do numeraire just because I see ASFAR. I will do it for you for sure, but I want to see you hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and, you know, everybody come join, be a member, be a part of us. All you members that are here on the channel right now, drop your favorite emojis right now. How you feeling? Before we wrap this out, let's look at XRP. XRP, we're doing Turbo TA here right now. XRP, oh, this is looking kind of ugly because it's 2 minute charts. This is not the chart I wanted. I have one already drawn up. There we go. Okay. So this is, yeah. Oops. This zone, this 61 cent zone, this seems like, whew. Now this is what we're looking at. You see, we had this rising channel and we did tap it here. We tapped the top here and we came back down. This is looking actually somewhat weak at this level, which I know some of you guys don't want to hear, but you can't care about wanting to hear or not wanting to hear something. You got to see the charts. And if you don't like my analysis, do your own analysis. And that's great. It's good to hear different people have different ideas about what could happen. Now, the one thing I will say about this is this looks like this is probably resting down in the golden pocket. Look at that. It is found support right here in the golden pocket, the 618 to 65 region right here. I can tell just by looking at it, this came down to this region. So if this is able to hold here and not break down, if this is able to hold here on this retrace golden pocket region, then maybe this will just slowly be working its way up before another larger impulse to the upside. We have the levels already marked out from that 84, 73, 84, and then ultimately at some point likely testing into the dollar range. But as it stands right now, this is looking on the day, the 3-day angle to the downside, momentum to the downside. What's it looking like on the daily? Volumes coming down. We can see this right here. All these candle bars getting smaller. The stochastics have been angled up, but there's been no real bullish initiative to the upside. So this kind of worries me. This is, you know, I want to see what happens in this region right here. Maybe we make a little bit of a W with a higher low, which would be actually relatively bullish, but we need to see what happens in this region. And if we're going to stay held above 57 cent region. Now, what does it look like on the 4 hour? 4 hour, double click. 4 hour. Okay, 4 hours shows that, okay, we got higher momentum waves. Let's turn on the volume. We're sitting right inside of a very recently formed order block right in this region. And as it stands right now, we're basically struggling to break free of this trend signal line right here. Right here, how we sat above it, we came below it. We're getting tangled in this web right now with no real confidence, especially with all the chop going back and forth with the exchange drama and the DOGE and, you know, all this stuff going on. We really want to see some conviction come in with some buyers and or slow and sustained move to the upside. We're coming into the holiday season. We got to pay attention to what's going on and not let ourselves get chopped out. Avalanche looks very similar. What were we looking at earlier? Caspa looks kind of similar to that right here, where we had a big push up, small consolidation, push up, a consolidation that's almost as wide as this is right here. We've got a lot of stuff going on right around this area with the order blocks, with this rising level of support. Are we on? Oh, we were looking at Avalanche. Yeah, here we go. I don't know how I ended up on that other. Boom. There we go. So rise, small rise. It's just sitting right above this previous level of resistance. I mean, it's a macro level of resistance. I remember this one. It's these 2 points. Boom, boom, projected out. That's the level that we are, you know, we want to hold above this. And if we're able to break out, it looks like we got a little bit of a trend line right here now. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. So boom, 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 boom. If we're able to take this out and we're riding in this dynamic support zone, then we may be able to see some higher prices coming relatively soon. I'll be watching for this area up here where we get in this order block zone, $36. It's going to feel really good when we start getting back up into these levels. But I don't know how heavy this is going to be as real resistance because it's so early. It's so much below all this. I'm going to be watching for a pit stop in this region, this $36 to $46 region. But ultimately, I'm really going to be watching for these previous lows. And then what we can do is see if there's confluence. Option F from the top, come across to the bottom and look at this. There's one. Yeah, it's the only place I could do it from. Yeah. So the 382 is right inside of this order block region. So when price does start moving up, I'm watching for a test of the $44 region, probably likely test down a bit. And we'll have to figure out what the fib is once we get up there. But it'd probably be down here in the $32 to $31 region and then potential continuation of the upside. Now, the last one I'm going to do, Numeraire. I don't know if I've ever even charted this one. Let's see. 3 days. This is not, does not look like a very good chart, but to be fair, when this was launched, the market was going into, yeah, I don't know. Let me see if there's another chart. I just want to see if there's Numeraire target. No, that's still question. You said, look at Numeraire. It looks pretty ugly. I'll tell you that. I know they have pretty decent tech. I have a friend that was really into it who is a professor at Columbia. But I don't really know much about Numeraire. There's not really much to work with here. This does not look super sexy. So let me go down to the 4 hour and tell you if there's anything you can do. Not a lot of volume here either. Golly. Numeraire, let's go USDP. There we go. This will have a bit more volume. Okay, 4 hour. Let's look regionally. 6 hour. Man, look at this. If we can take out, I would say this is looking like it's trying to find a reset on these sorts of zones. Is there anything? It's so choppy. It's a problem. It's not really giving a lot of clear. Yeah, I don't really know what to tell you on this one, just because it looks like a heartbeat, right? Yeah, so I don't know. What I would do on this is I'd come here, I'll pull my Fibonacci, come right down over here like this, and we see this golden pocket is set up right on the bottom side of this order block that's directly above us. We have the 382 right here, which is also roughly about where we found some rejection from. So what I would be wanting to do right here is I could see that there's a little bit of a very ugly support line here, even though we have this little deviation below this. This is just an ugly mother suckers. You know what I'm talking about? So we see right here, we got the support, a little bit of deviation. And look at this. I mean, this is this huge amount of volume right in here. The bulls really tried to do something and it just couldn't do anything. I'd be watching for a break of this level and I'd test down here into the $13.40 range. This is the low here. This is a low here. This is a high here. So this is that area, option H right there. They see 13.14, 13.40. I mean, that's the kind of region I'd be looking at. I want to see if there's any sort of bullish support. If this does continue pushing higher, this is trying to make that move. But you see this wick here. Large wick back down. This is looking like it's trying to retest back into this region. If for some point the bulls do pull their heads out of the butt on this one and it does start pushing up, I'm watching for a break of 1582 and then initially coming up. But I want you to see something. This is basically bullish M pattern right there. Sorry, bearish M pattern, double top right in this region right here. Push up, down, push up, down. You see what I'm saying? And so right here, this could be a fall, retrace, continuation. Again, I'm watching for this area down here is probably the most likely next move. If this does break out, I'm watching for a break above, again, 1664 and 1695 and potentially then I'm not even going to give upside targets right now until this starts showing a little bit more bullish structure. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful Tuesday. I, for some reason, thought it was a Friday. I don't know why, because I'm working my little... Took us off. Just make sure you head over to the BitLab Academy Twitter page. Retweet this tweet. Get involved. You will be, there's going to be 3 people being drawn for. We're drawing 3 names of this towards the end of the week. 3 people get lifetime access for helping us spread the word. This offer for this coupon code expires on December 1st. So everybody get involved. You can use this for the BitLab All Access or the BitLab Pro. And all you got to do is come over to bitlabacademy.com, click enroll now. Click it before you stick it right here. And you can sign up for BitLab Pro and you just put in that coupon code, or you can sign up for the All Access. Just put in that coupon code. You get 50% off for 3 months. And you get to be involved in the Discord and everything else that we're doing. So big love to each and absolutely every one of you. I love you all. I appreciate you. I want to see as we wrap it out, let's see some of those emojis in the chat. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the Discord. I'll see you tomorrow, 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. Adios, everybody. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Bring me a higher low. And remember, Alex Green's going to be doing that session in the Discord here in about an hour, I believe. So get in there. Adios, muchacharitos.